Okay, we are live now. Close this. Okay. So today we are going to go to chapter 2 in Ayodhya Kanda. Okay. Yesterday was all about Rama and Rama's qualities and how skilled he is, the knowledge he has, and all about Rama only in chapter 1, which was a very interesting chapter, which could be read again and again. So today's chapter is a long one. Chapter 2, the desire in the heart of Dashratha. So let's get started. King Dashratha would often think of the greatness that was Rama, and his heart would be filled with happiness. There was in his heart a great desire to make Rama the Yuvaraja. He felt that it would be ideal since Rama was dear to all. He told himself, if I crown Rama as Yuvaraja now, I will have the happiness of seeing him drenched in the waters of the Abhisheka, and there'll be no one to equal me in my joy. I know that he will rule the kingdom even better than I have been doing all these years. He will do good to the people, even as the rain bearing clouds water the earth with a desire to make it more fertile. In prowess, Rama is like the Yama and Indra, and in wisdom, he is like the divine Guru, Brahaspati. My son is far superior to me in every way. I must leave the earth to be ruled by my child, and I can depart to the other world in peace. The king knew that the good qualities found in Rama were not to be found in anyone else. He was the best among men, a rare soul, and he was best suited to rule the kingdom. Dasharatha decided to consult his ministers and ask them for their opinion and then proceed further in the matter. The king had been worried of late. He knew that he was getting old, and added to this was the worry caused by evil omens in the heavens, in the sky, and on the land also. He knew that some dire calamity was in store for him, and he thought that it was his own death which was imminent. To set his mind at rest and for the sake of his beloved subjects, this righteous monarch decided to make haste and make Rama the crown prince during his own lifetime. To think was to act, and Dasharatha gave instructions for the subjects who lived nearby and for all the chiefs and kings to be brought to Ayodhya. The two rulers of Kekaya and Mithila, however, were not sent for. The king told himself, I'm in a hurry. They will hear about this later and rejoice. It is of no great importance if I do not send for them now. The guests began to arrive soon, and the king welcomed them as was befitting their status and his. There was a gathering of all of them in the immense council hall, and the people of Ayodhya had thronged there too. There was a roar as of the sea during full tide. The king came with his ministers and took his seat on the throne. Surrounded as he was by the lesser luminaries, Dashratha looked like Indra surrounded by the devas in his court. Dashratha, the king, who was more like a father than a king to his subjects, now spoke in a deep and powerful voice. He said, it is well known to all of you that this kingdom of Kosala has been ruled by my ancestors ever since the time of Ikshvaku. To the best of my ability, I have tried to follow in the footsteps of my ancients and to rule the country. I have never consciously swerved from the path of Dharma and have been a father to you all. But this body of mine, sheltered as it has been for the last so many years by the white umbrella, has become old and tired. I feel weak. I have spent innumerable number of years in this task of ruling the land, and I want to be relieved of this responsibility. I have devoted my mind and all my thoughts to this sole task, and it is now time for me to place a burden on younger shoulders and to take leave of you. With the approval of the kings and the wise ones here and all of you, I wish to appoint my son Rama as my next of heir and be without worries. Rama is my eldest son. He is like Indra in valor and he cannot be conquered by anyone. He is superior to me in all the qualities needed for ruling a country. I wish to make him the Yuvaraja. He is capable of accomplishing easily any task assigned to him, and he is the ideal man to be the ruler of the land. I'm eager to make him take over from me the great task of kingship. I have spent a lot of time before coming to this decision. If it is approved by all of you, I'll pursue the matter further. If you do not, if I ask of you to suggest an alternative. I desire to make only Rama the Yuvaraja, but it has to be decided by all of you as to whether my decision has your approval and approbation. There was a roar when the king stopped talking, and the noise made by the happy crowd made the entire palace resound with echoes. They did not have to consider the matter at all. They said, O king, you're right in the thought that you have ruled the kingdom long enough and that you're tired of it since you're getting old. We fully approve of the suggestion that Rama be crowned as the heir. We are eager to see Rama drenched with the waters of the Abhisheka, with his face sheltered by the white umbrella, riding on the elephant. The king, pleased with the general enthusiasm of the crowd, spoke as though he did not know the reason for their ready assent and said, I've been ruling this land for many years and I've been righteous all the time. Never once have I transgressed the rules of conduct. Have you not been happy all these years? Your eagerness to have Rama as your king makes me pause and ask why. Have I not done my duty? What makes you so excited at the thought of Rama's coronation as the Yuvaraja? Yes, Laya?
Can I please go to the bathroom?
Oh, yeah, sure, sure. The reason is your son, said the people. His good and noble qualities have endeared him to us. We will tell you why he is dear to us. He is truthful, his religion is truth, and that is his strength. He is the best of the descendants of Ichwaku. He is the personification of all that is good and great. He will never swerve from the path of truth and of dharma. He is like the moon in charming everyone, like the earth in patience, in his forgiveness of others' faults. He is like Brihaspati in intellect and like Indra in valor. He is righteous and has never been known to break his word. His conduct is faultless and he is happy to see and recognize greatness in others. Forgiving the faults of others is second nature to him, and he'll never anger anyone by his thoughts or his words or his action. He knows no guile and he is ever grateful to those who do him a favor. Those who come to him for protection can be sure that he will never abandon them. Pleasure and pain are treated alike by him, and he is unaffected by the sway of these. Rama speaks lovingly to everyone at all times, and his words have never been untrue. He respects elders and wise men. He is proficient in the use of all the astras, and his fame is not only of this world. He is famed in all the three worlds for his greatness. He is well read and he is a master of the Vedas and the Vedangas. He is well acquainted with music and all the fine arts. He is blessed with an ancestry which is faultless, and he is the jewel among kings of his race. He has courage, and his mind is so firm that nothing will make him weaken because of the sway of the emotions. Never once has he been defeated in any war which he has fought. He is genuinely interested in the welfare of others. When he is riding on a horse or in a chariot, he stops and talks to the man in the street and inquires about his welfare and those of his kinsmen, even as a father does to his son. Rama thinks of the well being of every one of us. He shares our joys and our sorrows. Ever devoted to speaking the truth, Rama, your son, is respectful towards elders and he has his senses under perfect control. There is a smile on his face when he talks to people, and as for his looks, there is no one equal to him. He charms everyone with his beauty. His eyebrows are long, his eyes under his arched eyebrows with a slight red tint in them are large and liquid. He seems to us to be Lord Narayana himself, who has assumed the form of a human being. He is unequaled in the art of ruling, and he can rule not only this land but the three worlds. His anger will not be wasted, nor will his grace be spent on undeserving people. The earth is eager to have Rama as a lord, endowed as he is with all the qualities needed for a ruler. Every one of us thinks of Rama every day. Every morning when we get up, whether it is a man, woman, young or old, even a young child, the first thought is Rama, and the prayer which we send up to the heaven is, may Rama live long, may no evil befall him. We want to see Rama. Dark blue as a lotus, crowned as a Yuvaraja. Please perform the coronation as early as you can and make the three worlds happy. Dashrata was thrilled with the words of his subjects. Tears of joy rose to his eyes, and he said, I am gratified to know that my wish is the same as yours, and I'll try to perform the crowning ceremony as early as I can. He then turned to Vashishta and Vamadeva and said, this month, Chaitra, is a beautiful month. The blessed forests will be wearing garments of flowers. Please be good enough to make all the arrangements for the coronation. The words of the king brought shouts of joy from the crowd which had assembled after it had subsided. The king spoke again to Vashishta and said, please, my lord, take care of the religious aspects of the coronation. Vashishta called for the attendants of the king at once and asked them to collect the various accessories for the function. He also ordered that the decoration of the city should begin as early as possible. He said, let the doorways of the palace be decorated with flowers, and let there be incense kindled everywhere. Let the royal pathway be sprinkled with perfumed water and with flowers. Let the musicians and dancers assemble in the hall of the palace itself. Flowers and fruits should be available in abundance. The king called Sumantra and Sumantra said, go and bring Rama to me immediately. Sumantra went in the chariot of the king. Dashrata went up to the terrace of his palace and waited for the coming of Rama. The king had his eyes glued to the distance to perceive Kovidara banner of the chariot, which was to bring Rama to him. It came into view, and Dashrata could see Rama. It was his Rama who was coming to him. Rama was like a Gandharva in beauty, whose fame was known to all the worlds, who was strong with long and beautiful arms, who walked like a young elephant, so noble was his gait. His face had the charm of the moon, and he was extremely handsome. He pleased the eyes of the people like the first sight of the rain cloud, which promised rain to the earth. Dashrata was so filled with the sight of his son, he kept on looking at him as though his eyes could never be satisfied. Rama was his very life to Dashrata. Sumantra helped Rama to descend from the chariot. With his palms folded, Rama went to the presence of his father, and Sumantra followed him. Rama climbed the terrace, which was as beautiful as the peak named Kailasha. Came to the presence of the king and prostrated before him. The king looked at his son who was standing before him with his face full of respect and embraced him warmly. He made him sit on a jeweled seat and said, Rama, my son, you are my eldest son, born of my queen Kaushalya, and you're very dear to me. These subjects of mine desire that you should be the ruler. I want you to be crowned as a Yuvaraja on the day when the moon and the star Pushya are close. You are good natured and you're well read, and I do not have to teach you how to rule a kingdom. You have been groomed for that role, and I ask you to take it up. People who were around went to the apartments of Kaushalya and told her about the decision of the king. Pleased with the news, she gave away gold and ornaments and costly silks to her attendants as a sign of her happiness. When he heard the commands of his father, Rama spoke not a word but stood still. He prostrated once again before his father and ascended the chariot which had brought him to the court. The crowd also dispersed slowly, each man thinking only of the glad event which was to happen soon. End of chapter 2. So, what stood out for you in this chapter? Unmute. Yeah.
Like all the compliments they gave Rama, and like, I don't really know how to say it, but like the word choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you think of any few words that we don't use or hear normally?
Yuvaraja.
Yuvaraja. What's the meaning of Yuvaraja?
Oh, and also how
Crown
Dasharatha.
Prince.
Yes. Um. Yes, Laya, you were saying?
Like how nice, like the way that Dasharatha spoke to Rama, like so sweetly. It was yeah.
Could you feel it?
Yeah, it's
This-
like
this
you're
whole-
actually there.
Yeah, and this so descriptive of emotions of the king, the subjects, and everybody, right? The words are very descriptive of the feelings and emotions of everyone. And it kind of transports us to have that feeling, feel that feeling. That's what stood out for me. It's very pleasant and fills us up with pleasantness. So we'll continue with chapter 3 now. Tomorrow,
Okay.
said the king. Chapter 3. When the crowd had all dispersed and when he was alone in his chambers, the king thought to himself and said, tomorrow happens to be Pushya, and why should I not arrange the coronation to take place tomorrow? Dasharatha entered his palace and went to his innermost apartments. He summoned Sumantra and asked him to bring Rama once again to him. Sumantra went to the palace of Rama and he asked the doorkeeper to announce his arrival to Rama. The prince was puzzled when he heard about the desire of the king to see him again. He took Sumantra inside the palace and asked him, you seem to be in a hurry. I've just returned from the presence of the king and you say that he wants me there again. Can you tell me why? Sumantra said, I do not know. The king went to his inner chambers, summoned me and asked me to bring you to him immediately. That is all I know. He did not tell me why. Rama hurried into the chariot and went to the presence of the king and stood as before, waiting for him to speak. Holding him close to his chest, the king embraced Rama again and again. He said, Rama, I wanted to talk to you for a while. That is why I sent for you. Child, I'm getting old. I have tasted all the joys which life has to offer. I have performed yagas and I have been a good king. Because of my good fortune and as a reward of my good actions, you have been born as my eldest son. I've done my duty well and my coronation is the only task. Your coronation is the only task which I have not attended to. Yet I want to do it as early as possible. I've been having bad dreams, my child, and that have begun to worry me. I dreamt that a big burning torch fell on the ground with a noise like a thunderclap. This means that a calamity is in store for me. And again, the astrologers who have studied my horoscope tell me that my star is now being attacked by the planets Surya, Angaraka, and Rahu. These evil omens spell either the death of the king or some misfortune to the king. He may even lose the power of sane thinking. I would like you to take up the reins of the realm before life leaves this frail old body of mine. Man's mind is full of uncertainties. Today the moon is in conjunction with Punarvasu and tomorrow he will be with Pushya. My mind can think of nothing else unless until you are crowned. You must be crowned on the day when Pushya is with the moon and that is tomorrow. From today, you must observe all the necessary rituals guided by Vashishta. You must fast tonight with your wife and sleep on the floor where darba grass has been spread. Great events like this are apt to be beset with hindrances. I therefore ask you to surround yourself with well-wishers. Bharata has been sent away from here and I am of opinion that this is a proper time for your coronation. I know Bharata and his nature. I know that he is devoted to you, his eldest brother. He is righteous and he is a compassionate man, one who can enter into the hearts of others. He is able to keep his senses under control. But then, having lived in this world for years, I have come to know one truth. Even the minds of those who follow no other path but that of Dharma, who have been taught all the rules of conduct, even they, I say, are very rarely happy at the sight of the good fortune which has befallen others. The mind of man is very unsteady, and so I have decided to hold the coronation tomorrow. Still, Rama spoke not a word but went back after taking the dust off his feet of his father. After leaving the apartments of his father, Rama went to his mother Kaushalya. He found her in the place set apart for the worship of the household gods. She was dressed in pure white silk and she was reciting slokas in praise of Lakshmi, the spouse of Narayana. Her eyes were closed and he stood by waiting. Sumitra and Lakshmana, too, having heard the great news, had come there to be with the queen, and they were also standing by waiting for her to conclude her prayers. Sita had come there long ago. When she opened her eyes, Kaushalya saw them all standing by her. Rama approached her and he prostrated before her. He then said, Mother, father has commanded me to be the ruler of his subjects. He now told me that I am to be crowned tomorrow. He asked me to fast tonight along with Sita. I have come to you to ask you to bless me and Sita. Kaushalya, whose heart has been waiting for this moment for the past so many years, spoke to Rama in a soft voice. Rama, my child, may you live long, may your enemies perish, enemies who wish to stand in the way of your coronation. May you please me and Sumitra. You were born under an auspicious star, and your father is pleased with you and your excellent qualities. I am indeed very fortunate. My prayers to Narayana have not been in vain. Rama smiled gently at the words of his mother, and he then looked at Lakshmana and said, Lakshmana, this kingdom, this honor bestowed on me by my father is only for you, since you are my very life to me. Rule this world along with me. I am happy to be the king for your sake. I want you to enjoy the pleasures of kingship. He then prostrated before his mother and went back to his palace, accompanied by Sita. So that ends chapter 3. So the next chapter is called chapter 4, preparations. Now let's talk about what stood out in this chapter.
How like Dasharatha was just saying you can rule a song alongside me.
Dasharatha?
Wasn't Dasharatha? Who was it? Was it Rama?
Rama said to Lakshmana.
Yeah, I meant to say Rama.
Yeah.
How he was like, even though he was going to be king, he was fine with sharing it.
Okay.
Like
That stood out for you? Yeah,
yeah, like
yeah,
you
true.
could have just been the whole king rather than sharing it with someone, but he wanted to share it with his brother.
What else?
Mm,
How they're looking at all the moon position and planetary positions, and how he
yeah.
has to go on fasting before he prepares, like how he has to prepare his mind and body for the coronation to be the king. Like all those disciplines stood out for me.
Yeah, that as well.
Anything else?
Not
To do
sure.
something big, great, even for marriage, they would ask the bride and groom to be fasting. So to do something great as coronation, because in the fasting stage, the body is ready to is in a more pure state of consciousness. The energies in the body is more pure and ready to receive and for special occasions it's good to fast, like even when there's a tradition to fast when the seasons are changing. If we fast when seasons change, people fall sick, right? But when we fast, we can overcome that, we can avoid it.
Okay.
So fasting has been part of one of those disciplines, and it was interesting to see how the prince before coronation is also asked to do that along with his wife Sita as well. So we are in page 113 now. Okay. So we are steadily moving forward. Let's say our closing prayers now. Close your eyes, drop your shoulders, take a deep breath, and let's chant Om 3 times. Om. 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 Repeat after me or with me. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.